so I was thinking on my way from Hyderabad to Chhattisgarh to Raipur, how I could possibly say something and share something with you that could inspire you. And then I had some 1 million stories that I could share, and I'm going to begin by sharing one story. I had the opportunity to work with a brilliant woman, a saint, Mother Teresa, for about 2 years in Kolkata, and I wrote some very nice columns about her and her work with the Nirmala Academy and the Home for the Aged and all of that she had. And the story goes like this. She was sitting at the railway station in Kolkata with one of the journalists, who was also interviewing her and following her around and going with her wherever she was going, when a bunch of media people came and said, Mother Teresa, could we please take a picture with you? And so she nodded her head. But after a few minutes, they said, can you keep your sari like this? Can you put your hand like this? Mother Teresa, can you move your face like that? And they started orchestrating the picture. And Mother Teresa was, complying, and she was doing what they were asking her to do, while this journalist friend was getting very angry. And then she told all these other media people that, look, what have you come here for? You've come here to take a picture of such a brilliant woman, of a woman who has done so much for the world, and all you want to do is take a picture, make her pose like this, and make her pose like that. And then she looked at Mother Teresa, and she said, and Mother Teresa, why are you allowing them to do that? Why are you letting them orchestrate this picture? And she looked at the journalist friend of hers, and she said, there are all kinds of poverty. The reason I have given you the story is that when we talk about women empowerment, when we talk of power that women should have, it also comes from a mindset of the poverty that's in our heads. We are an empowered people. We are an empowered lot already. The idea is to now execute that power. And how do we do it? I'm going to put up a slide here. I'm going to start by saying, lead, not plead. Women don't need to plead. Please, may I have this? Please, can you do this for me? Please, can you do that for me? I need to stand in line. I need to stand behind. I don't know when I can get what I want. Do not plead. We are in a position to lead, and lead we will. But there are situations that we want to look at. There are some facts I'd like to share with you. India ranks third lowest in the proportion of business leadership roles held by women at 15%. If we stay at this 15%, we will probably reach leadership parity only by the year 2085. But here's the thing. By 2085, we will probably reach a leadership parity that we need to be at. Very disturbing. Next, please. They say that women is half of the sky. We own half of the sky. And there is a message. There is a message that we women have to share with the world. And I'm going to use the message that Gandhiji said. Just as he was boarding at a train, a journalist screamed at him, shouted at him, and said, Gandhiji, what is the message you would like to give to the people? And he said, my life, my life. And that's how women should be. Your life should be the message to the world. So all of us who feel that we're very empowered, let's show it. Show the world the money, like we say, show me the money. Show that power. Women in education, my God, I don't even want to look at that figure. 345 million Indian women lack the basic capability to read and write. Our children, the girl child, this whole mind thing told half my story. What does the girl child go through? Know this, please. I know it's very hard to read something like this, but unless we embrace what is really happening to our girl children, unless you really can feel it in your gut, in your heart, you're not going to do anything about it. But the numbers don't change. Next slide, please. Those same children at 33%, now grown into women. An attestation was taken for about 600 women. Look at those numbers, 76%. Abusers, 42% were right there from the family alone. Uncles and fathers and brothers and what have you. Next slide, please. And this one really sucks. Really sucks. I've been through this one. And I've been through it for many years until I decided to take charge of it. I was like a Jharu woman. You know, every time there was a problem, every time there was an issue, every time there was violence, I would have to sweep it under the rug. 2015, and my statistics shows that 1 out of every 2 women is abused sexually, physically, economically, physiologically, psychologically, whatever. 1 out of 2. Next slide, please. So what next? So what next? Every time we talk about leadership of women, women empowerment, women at the forefront, I'm going to go to the next big idea. Next slide, please. So what is the next big idea? What do you think the next big idea should be? And I'm going to call it, next slide please, lead like a girl. You cannot sit here in management schools, you cannot sit here in large institutions framing and gathering your career path and growing it to where you want it to be because you are a mixed group of women and young men. You're going to have to teach your children. We are going to have to teach our children today what empowerment is about. We have to teach them when they are 12 and 13 years old. We have to teach them from that puberty stage to take control of values, to take control of their rights, to know what their rights are, and then by the time they are journeying towards womanhood, they are able to execute it. I do not want to learn about women empowerment when I'm 25 years old. I want to execute that power by then. So I'm hoping, and I have been talking to NASCOM and to FICCI and some of these boards in India, that we must have a curriculum in schools for the girl child in particular on soft skills, personality, building your personality, understanding the power of expression, and understanding that when you are 12, 13, and 14, and not when you're 30 years old and you're married and somebody is beating the hell out of you. So I'm hoping that going forward, the next big idea for empowerment will be in the hands of girl child from the ages of 12, 13 and above. So how do we, next slide please. So how to empower women at all levels? How do we do this? The most important thing, and let's face it guys, it is a fact. The most important thing is fear. Women fear. They really have this fear. I've seen it in the workplace, in the corporate world. I've seen it in the performing arts world. I've seen it in homes. I've seen it in professional and personal lives of people. Fear. And we have to learn how to tackle fear. It's hard. Women empowerment is a very slow process for me in India. Learn to see the word empowerment in India, we always take it as the male gender, the female gender. It doesn't have to do with gender inequality. It does not. You can be empowered in kindness. You can be empowered in bringing your family together. You can be empowered in executing education. You can be empowered in so many ways. So many ways. It's not always about the man. India needs people and more women who can guide them, who can grow them, who can teach them, and who can educate them. And empowerment is something you have to be educated for. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Whether it's your boyfriend, your husband, your father, uncle, whatever, whatever avatars that men take in their lives, we have tenfold of that. We are great at multitasking. There is a mother, I was talking to my colleagues earlier in the day, I saw it on YouTube. She's a Punjabi woman, and she has 6 children. And she was being interviewed, she said, "Oh, I'm only a housewife." The toughest job in the world. The toughest job in the world is to be a housewife. 6 children. She makes morning tiffin for 6 children every day, and each child wants something different. So having said that, I just want you to know that empowerment has many different meanings. It means different things to different people. So what's your definition of empowerment? Think about it. Act on it. Teach somebody about it. Grow your sisterhood to a point and to a level where they are able to execute that. It's quite simple, but it's a slow process, but it's a sure process. And please understand that's a fact. All you girl management students who will come out of the IIM management here in the school, please understand that. You have a lot more to build than what you are studying right now. You can come out being a graduate from IIM, a postgraduate, with your management studies. You don't build your personality, you don't build your strength, you don't build your expression. You don't stand here on stage and express. It's unlikely that you will go very far with this management degree. I come from the field of stage. I'm a producer, I'm an actor. And this stage, let me tell you guys, when you stand here, it is power. It is absolute power. I am more powerful than any one of you sitting out there right now. I want every one of you to be on the stage. This is where you will learn to express. It is the world's greatest platform of expression. Become part of the stage. Always stand on a stage. That is what I feel gives me empowerment. It really does. So thank you very much. It's been wonderful being here. Promise me you will not fear. Remember one thing, even God didn't ask that we fear Him. He asked that we love Him. And when we don't do something right by people we love, that's when fear is created. Please do not fear, and teach every neighbor, the women around you, your friends, family, do not fear. Be yourself. Empower yourself more. You are already empowered. Now all you have to do is to empower yourself better. Take your girl children, lead like the girl, teach them how to start empowering themselves at a very early age, so that when they reach womanhood, they are able to execute empowerment, not just learn about it. Thank you very much. Pleasure being with you.